Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I'm out in my backyard enjoying the early morning. It's beautiful. It's dry right now. And Foxy, quit. You quit. Sadie, quit. He's not going to let you have his bone. Quit it. Quit. Hey everybody, it's Foxy, Sadie. No, don't bring it to me. Get it, Foxy. Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I'm in my backyard and it's early morning and I'm enjoying the sounds of the farm. The birds are singing, the purple martins and the other birds, and well, you can hear the roosters are doing their thing. I was videotaping a while ago, and if I have it on video, I will put it up as part of this as a blooper, although I didn't think it was very funny. I was talking away and sharing my thoughts of the day with you guys, and I had already said that Foxy you might see Foxy in the background carrying he's got a big bone that he carries around and chew on, and Sadie aggravates him and he kind of growls at her, but not like, you know, he's not going to hurt her. He's just letting her know that that's his bone. And they were back behind me, back behind this elderberry bush, and I heard him growl at her, and I thought he was just letting her know. And then he growled again, and I thought, well, that didn't sound like what he normally sounds like. And you know how it is when, of course I know Foxy's a dog, but you know how it is when you can be in the store or be anywhere, church or anywhere, and your child be out of your line of vision, but you hear your child, and you can just tell by the sound that they're making, whether they're laughing or crying or whatever it is. You can tell if there's something wrong or if they're hurt, you know. And so I could tell by Foxy's growl that something was different. And so I turned to get onto him because I thought he was getting after her. And when I turned, he had a snake just right on the other side of that bush. And so he was bringing it to me. So I got up, the camera was rolling, I think, at that time, and I jumped up and was saying, no, Foxy, don't bring it to me, don't bring it to me. So I've had a little bit of excitement this morning, and Cheyenne came out, and we tried to diagnose what kind of snake we thought it was, and I've got it thrown over the back fence. I'm not really sure what kind of snake it was. All I know is that Foxy killed it, and then he left it laying. He won't, go by it or anything. So I'm not really a good snake identifier. I just know that it was a snake. So after all of that excitement, I thought we would just enjoy our Tuesday visit, and hope that everybody's doing okay, that you had a good day today. I know it seems weird because this morning, but when you guys see it, you will have already had your Tuesday, and I hope everybody had a good day. Yesterday, I got one of my chickens. She's been sitting on a nest, and bless her heart, she got down to eat, and when she got back up to the nesting boxes, she got in the wrong nest and was sitting on the wrong clutch of eggs. So I thought, well, I got to get her moved, and so I took that opportunity to move her. I moved the eggs to where Howie always put the broody mamas and their eggs, and they're kind of protected in their own little areas so that they can set and set on their eggs and get off to eat and to get a drink of water, and then right back on their nest, and they're not in with all of the other chickens trying to get in and lay their eggs. And so I got her eggs moved, and then the difficult part was getting her moved. And so I knew how Howie did it, and so I worked around, and she's a mean little booger. And I finally got her, but not before she got me. And I don't know if it'll show on camera, but she pinched the fire out of me with her little beak. She did more than peck. She got me. And but I got her moved, and hopefully before long she'll hatch out some new little babies. And I always think it's fun to watch a mama chicken and her babies on the farm, and I try to stay back And maybe this will be a good lesson for Foxy and Sadie if they get tangled up with the flogging mama. But anyway, because it's not like we need a whole bunch of new baby chickens. They're running out of my ears right now. So anyway, that was a little bit of excitement between the chicken and the snake. I think I've had my fill for a few days, and I think I'll try to stay out of all of the chaos and have a little bit more, maybe a little bit more quiet time. Getting up early in the morning like this, and of course it's a little later now than what I first intended to make the video, but getting up in the mornings like this always makes me think of summer times when I was a kid. And I grew up in a big family, and our family worked. My stepdad, he built houses, and my dad and stepmom, they were factory workers and worked long, hard hours in the hot factories. My mom stayed at home with me and my siblings. Those of us that's older. There were 7 of us in the house at one time, but there were other children. My dad and stepmom have my 2 youngest brothers, and so we enjoyed our childhood. We enjoyed our summer vacation from school, but we also had to work, and you know, it was just something our family expected us to do. They worked, and we were to work too. But we also got to enjoy our childhood. We got to play, we got to have fun, but when it was work time, it was work time. And that we didn't always get to sleep in. You know, a lot of kids, adults too, like to sleep in, and I used to. Anymore I don't. I wake up. I don't even have an alarm clock anymore. I just wake up. But when I was younger, teenager and young adult, Howie and I were first married, we enjoyed our Saturday morning sleep in. And then we had kids. And the kids don't let you sleep in. They're right there at the side of the bed doing everything they can to wake you up. And so we got used to just getting up and starting our day. But our parents, my parents and Howie's parents too, we had to get up and we had to do work. And you know, it didn't hurt us a bit. We got out, and I always had to. When I was old enough, I babysat and went to people's houses and babysat when I was probably, now I know by today's standards they would say you weren't old enough, but by the time I was 13 or 14, I was you know, babysitting way up into the evening for people, and all day sometimes for people in the summertime. And I started babysitting even earlier than that, but usually it wasn't way up into the night when I was younger than that. But I babysat, and then in the summertime, as soon as I was old enough, I began to pick blueberries at the blueberry farm, and made a little bit of money picking berries. And then I worked my way into the packing house and doing some things like that and earning a little bit of extra money. But we always had chores to do too, and my mom couldn't have got everything done during the day that she had to do if she didn't have help. And we didn't usually run the dryer. Of course, we had a washer and a dryer because there were rainy days, and there were, you know, winter time. There was a lot of times that it was too nasty to hang clothes on the line. But when you have 9 people in the household at one time that's working and going to school, I'm sorry guys, the train's coming through. The train got through, and now I'm back to continue my story. So anyway, I would take the clothes off the line and fold them, and I laid them on everybody's beds. I didn't have to put their laundry away, but they did. And Mama had expectations for each of us. We didn't go to school without making our bed. When we got up in the mornings, even in the summertime, we were on summer vacation, but we still made our beds. And so we made our beds, kept our rooms clean. I had to help Mama with the laundry, wash dishes. My parents, they thought it was funny, but I didn't. They would say, "We don't have a dishwasher, you are the dishwasher." And so I washed dishes all those years, and I learned to cook and do the things that Mama needed help with, and my brothers helped. We helped cut wood. We burned wood in our house, and we had to go help with the wood. Of course, my stepdad ran the chainsaw, but we carried the wood, and we stacked the wood, and we did all that kind of stuff. And they sold wood for extra money. And there was just various chores. Always worked in the garden. We always grew berries, strawberries, and we picked blueberries. And then I think I've shared with you before, if anybody ever called and said, we have apples that we don't want, we have plums, we have peaches, we always went and picked them, because there was always, you know, we could always put them to use. We had made molasses, and just all kinds of stuff. Grew big fields of corn, and worked together as a family to pick the corn, and to do all the things that needed to be done. And I know people are saying, well, that's awful childhood. You spent all your time working and not having any fun. But that's not true. Work had to be done. We had to get our chores done. And we worked together as a family to get those things done. But we also was able to have a lot of fun. And I grew up able to play. We were always playing baseball. We were always playing games. We were allowed to have an imagination, a healthy imagination, and they didn't rush us to grow up and, you know, put away our dolls and whatever else we played with. Now, my mom collected dolls, so she didn't have a problem with my sister. I just have one sister, and everybody else is boys, brothers. And because of that, my sister and I had dolls, and Mama loved dolls, and so she was all the time getting us dolls and Barbies and at yard sales, and she'd clean them up and fix their hair, and her and my aunt would make clothes for them, and clothes for the baby dolls and stuff. But to be honest with you, we just didn't hardly ever play with them. I had all those brothers, so we played games with the boys. We were always in the army, or we was always cowboys and Indians, or you name it, we played the game. Dukes of Hazzard. We were just all of those things, running all over the countryside playing those games. And my brothers weren't going to play Barbie, so I had to play the games with the boys, and we had a lot of fun. If it rained, like it's been raining the last on and off for the last, this is week 5, the last 5 weeks, we would have drove my mother nuts to be locked up in the house with us for all those weeks, all 7 of us kids. So if it wasn't thundering and lightning, Mama would let us go out in the barn and play. And boy, did we have fun. We really could think of a lot of different make-believe games to play. And of course, we did some things that if our parents knew, we'd have gotten in trouble for doing. One of the things that we did, I don't know how we kept from getting hurt, but we had this long chute down to this head gate in the old barn that we played in. And it was a head gate that you went down the chute on the inside of the barn, and would get to the head gate there at the end, and there was a big lever that you pushed, and we would start off at the end of the barn and take off running just as fast as we could. And the object of the game was to try to get through the head gate before they pulled the lever and caught you. And we played that and nobody ever got hurt. And now that I'm an adult and I've had children and watched them grow up and been to the emergency room, I don't know how many times with Blade for different injuries. I don't know how we kept from getting injured, but none of us did. None of us ever got caught in the head gate. But boy, it's not for lack of trying. We were trying to catch each other, and we just never was able to. And so if Mama would have known that at the time, she would have busted our backsides. But we never told on each other doing that, because we were all involved in it. And, we'd dare each other to, this is going to sound nasty, but we'd dare each other to eat the rabbit food and just try stupid stuff. And we did it because we were kids, and, that's what kids do. Another reason why I brought this up today is because I was listening to the news, and I was thinking about all the people that are begging for people to come to work. And I heard them say that these different ones at the beaches, the cabana boys, are refusing to go to work, and different companies are having a hard time hiring people. And I wonder where we went wrong. Where now we decide that we're not going to go to work because we deserve more and the government owes us more, and we're not going to work because we make more sitting at home. Well, somebody didn't think that out right, and I may get in trouble for saying that, but I think it's important for us to get off of our backside and go to work, whatever it is. Now, I don't work out on a public job. I work here on my farm, but I don't really know where I would squeeze in the hours for a public job. I've got to sleep sometime, and I have a full-time job just here at the farm. But I think people having a job and being steady at going to work, and I understand that people are saying, well, we need more money, and but there comes a time that you have to say, I have to provide for my family, and so I may have to do something. You know, my parents cut wood, and my mom made she got into helping this lady make porcelain dolls, and we babysat. We did all kinds of things to make ends meet. The family came together. We picked blueberries and made money. We did all kinds of stuff. And it may get back to that again, where the family has to pull together and do some kind of work. But everywhere we go, there's job signs everywhere. People wanting people to come to work for them. And we're getting picky to the point of refusing to work. And that bothers me because, we're not going to grow. We're not going to get out of the slump we're in if people are just willing to sit back and say, the government owes me, and I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get it. I'm going to take it. We're taking advantage of the situation. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, COVID. And COVID did change a lot of lives, affect a lot of lives. And I think that I can speak to this because I was affected by it too. COVID changed my life. But I can't just sit back and say, I'm waiting for the government to come and help me out on this. I had to go back to work, and you have to go back to work. It's not going to hurt us to go to work, push up our sleeves, and get back in the workforce. Some people would say that our parents making us get up in the summertime and go to work, they're at home, and as we got older, having jobs outside the home, that really robbed us of our childhood. Well, it didn't. We were allowed to have fun. We were allowed to embrace summer and go swimming and do all kinds of things. But having responsibility, having chores, even from the time that they're little kids. Now, I'm not talking about from the time they get up to the time they go to bed, but having a few responsibilities like making their bed, or keeping their toys picked up. You can start when they're little, making them take their dinner plate to the kitchen counter if they're of course if they're tall enough to reach up to the counter. Helping you, get them a little broom and dustpan and help them, to teach them how. Make it fun at first, a little game, and then they realize that it's something that they need to do. When I was a young girl, like in 3rd or 4th grade, I loved washing dishes. And my mom would give me a quarter to wash dishes. 1 quarter a week to wash dishes. And I was thrilled with that. I thought I was so responsible. And I was such a, grown-up, so to speak, because I was making a quarter washing the dishes. It's not mean it teaches responsibility. And I would say that in this day and age, and this is not picking on kids, because adults need these same lessons, learning responsibility, learning to be proud of the work that you do, and to have a work ethic. People, I see people all the time, older people, that work circles around people that are much younger than they are, simply because they don't have that experience. They don't have that work ethic. They haven't been taught. And so I think that it would do us great service to teach our children that work ethic. Teach them that it feels good at the end of the day when you're tired, you know, to come in and to take a shower and to have a good supper, be able to go to bed at night and not have to read and to you know, play video games and stuff half the night because you're not tired and sleepy. Working the full day, being busy playing, you know, roughhouse and doing those things that kids do, that'll make you tired. That'll make you ready to go to sleep and not have to, you know, be lulled to sleep because you're not tired. Having a work ethic, having a desire to get out and do things, being tired at night in the evening time so you're ready to go to bed and to get a good night's sleep, keeps them out of trouble too. Keeps you from going out and half the night, you know, getting involved in things that might get you in some pretty serious trouble. Now, I know kids are going to be kids. Kids have fun. Kids go and do things, and I'm not against that in a lot of ways. But kids can get in trouble, and Howie always told Blade, nothing ever good happens after, and he would throw out a time. You know, as Blade got older, the time changed a little bit because he was getting older and he got a little bit more freedom and a little bit more freedom. But it's true. After a certain time, your children need to be home and they need to be in bed. We need to be home and in bed. It's not going to hurt us to get a little bit extra sleep and to be ready to face the next day. You know, we never like to point fingers at ourselves, and we don't want to come down hard on kids and say, those lazy kids. But I think we as parents can, and grandparents can sometimes take some of the blame because we didn't want to make them work, and we didn't, you know, we wanted them to be able to relax and to enjoy, and we all want that. We want our kids to be able to enjoy, but we need to teach them the responsibility too. Family is important. And the further we go in this life, we find out that things change so fast. You know, I never thought where we're sitting today would be a reality. I never thought that at 50 I would be a widow. I never thought at 22 Blade, you know, that his daddy wouldn't be here to, you know, get to be with him as he welcomes his first child, and all of the things that he's gonna, you know, be in the future and face in the future. We just don't know, you know, how much time we have, but we should know how wonderful family is. I would also encourage you to spend if you can. Now, I know you can't do every meal because a lot of times we have to be up at work, or kids have to be at school, or whatever, that we can't enjoy sitting down and having breakfast together, or even dinner, lunchtime together. But if at all possible, sit down and around the table and try to have supper together, and try to carry on a conversation and spend time getting to know about each other's day. Stay involved with each other and talk about your hopes and dreams. Share your hopes and dreams with your children and let them know what it is that you're striving to achieve in your life, and ask them about the things that are important to them and the things that they want to strive for in their life. And I also want to tell you this. Take your kids to Sunday school when they're little. Get them involved and let them. I know people don't think Sunday school is important at all, but Sunday school is where they learn the foundational stuff. You know, if you have a good, strong foundation, and then you learn all about the Lord and the things that He does for us, how much stronger your family's going to be. I think that we could all say that family is under attack today. Mothers and fathers, the children, grandparents, so many things that are going on in this world. They're trying to even change, being able to call parents mama and daddy. Little Cheyenne was sharing with me earlier that you know, she's expecting her first baby. Well, actually, she's expecting her second. We lost our little first baby, But anyway, she's expecting, and so boy, she really pays attention. Hi, Sadie. She's really paying attention to all of these things. And she heard that they're even trying to change being able to call yourself birth parents into something else. And you know, I just say, embrace your family. Hold on to your family values. Hold your kids tight. Hold your family tight. Your parents, your grandparents. Make a strong family bond. And, you know, fight for your family. That's why I stress looking well to the ways of your household. It's not just, I feel responsible for my family. It's not just me. It's my children, my son, my daughter-in-law, my future grandbaby that I cannot wait to meet. I got big plans to be a meemaw. And my in-laws and, you know, my siblings and parents. Family's important. And I want to look well to the ways of my household. And, you know, I learned a lot of the things that I bring to you guys. A lot of the things that Howie brought to you guys is things that we learned from our parents and from our grandparents. And your children can do the same thing, learning from you. Don't be afraid to teach them those things. Don't be afraid to teach them those life lessons. A lot of times they'll go through this. I know y'all have seen it. You've seen the kids roll their eyes or slump their shoulders because they're not interested at all in what you've got to share with them. But if you'll keep on, then when they're older, they'll remember what you taught them, especially teaching them about the Lord. The Bible says to train up in the child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart from it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to parent your children. Don't be afraid to discipline. Don't be afraid to teach them life lessons. Don't be afraid to take them to church. Don't be afraid to tell them that that goes against our beliefs. And don't be afraid to share your dreams. Don't be afraid to listen to their dreams, to listen to their ideas. Look well to the ways of your households and enjoy them, because life can change in an instant. You guys, I love you. I hope you got something out of this. I hope maybe it sparked some memories of your childhood and that they were pleasant memories. Now, my parents, I knew where they stood on things. I knew that if they told me not to do something and I did it, my parents didn't know how to count to 3. They didn't know how to stand you in the corner. If they told you not to do something and you did it, you knew what was coming. It wasn't ever a surprise. You knew what you were going to get. And, you know, I guess I could say there was a couple of times that I counted to 3 with Blade. But when they start counting with you, you know you've got an issue that needs to be taken care of. There was a few times that I stood Blade in the corner and he headbutted the corner and had bruises on both sides of his little forehead. So then we had to move on to something else. Is life perfect all the time with your kids? No. But enjoy your family. They're worth it. They're worth it. And let them be kids. Let them have fun. Let them enjoy. Let them have an imagination and let them dream. But also teach them to work. Teach them to have a work ethic. Teach them that work is not always a drudgery. That you can work and you can enjoy your work. You know, maybe it would help if you go around the house doing your chores and maybe humming or singing a song or having a smile on your face, and it not all be drudgery and you know, yanking on the vacuum cleaner cord or you know, saying something you shouldn't say when you're having to rake leaves. You know, be an example. Now, I've meddled enough, guys, And you're probably sitting there telling me enough's enough. But I'm worried that the family is under attack. Spiritually and all around us, we can see that they're trying to take control of your kids away from you. Don't let that happen. You're their parents, and you have a responsibility and a privilege to raise them in the way that you have set as a goal. Anyway, guys, I love you. I hope that you have a good day. I hope you're blessed beyond measure. I want to say thank you to all your kindness. And until next time, we're gone.